Hi everyone, Dave here at East Rosebud Fly and Tackle in Billings, Montana. Today I'm going to tie a very popular and very effective pattern. This was created by Craig Matthews of Blue Ribbon Flies in West Yellowstone, Montana. It's called the X-Caddis. As you see, it looks similar to an elk hair caddis. The difference is there is no palmered hackle on the abdomen, and it has a tail of sparkle yarn. This is an emerging caddis pattern. This is meant to sit right in the surface film and to imitate a caddis emerging. Very effective pattern in a multiple of different colors. I'm just going to do one here in caddis green, which is an imitation of our green rockworm. I'm using, and any dry fly hook can be used from sizes 12 to 22. This is the Firehole 419 series hook. I like it because it's a light wire hook, yet it has a 2x wide gap. And this is 8/0 Vivus brown thread. We're going to start by just laying a thread base here. Right to the end of the shank. And then return your thread back up a couple eye lengths short of the eye. Next we're going to tie in the shuck, and what this is sparkle emerger yarn. Comes in a variety of colors. Craig prefers the amber for the shuck, so that's what we're going to use. You don't want to overdo it. I've seen some of these where the shuck is so heavy that you can't see through it. Remember, this is supposed to imitate this semi-translucent pupil skin that this caddis is emerging from. So you want to keep it fairly sparse. So we'll tie this in. A couple of thread wraps here, and then you can pull your material back to reduce the amount of butt material you have to trim off, and simply wrap over it to the end of the hook. I find that anywhere from a shank length to a half a shank length is good. I prefer it more on the short side, so we'll make this about a shank length long. And when this is in the water, it does exactly what it's supposed to. It sparkles and it moves and looks transparent. We'll bring our thread forward a wrap or two to get ready to dub. What I'm using is Hairtron dubbing, and it's just a combination of clear antron and rabbit fur. Comes in a variety of colors. I like to tie this pattern with a green body, a tan body, an all black caddis, just to match our local caddises. We want to keep our dubbing slim, and we want to make a reverse tapered body, and that it's a little heavier up towards the head. These caddis adults are pretty slim insects. There's not a lot to them. So the reason I came forward with this thread is so when I come back, my dubbing will start right at the tail. I'll dub a nice tight body, slightly tapering towards the front, and we'll stop here about a hook eye length short. Alright, for the wing I'm going to be using deer hair called X-Caddis. You can also use compare done hair. The difference is this hair comes from coastal deer. It's very short and there's not much underfur in it. They don't need it in the environment that they're in. I'm using the bleached hair. It comes in several different colors. I like the bleached hair because it gives the fly better visibility for me in the water. And we don't need a lot. Cut off a small clump here. Make sure that you hold it up by the tips, within about a third of the tips, so that you can clean the underfur out. They don't have a lot of it, but it clings pretty tightly. So in order to stack it effectively, we need to have that clean. Alright, into the stacker we go. Check how we're doing here. Alright, I have a little more than I need. And one more time. Okay, we want this wing to end right at the bend of the hook. So we'll measure here from where we tie in to the bend. Hold that point in your fingers and clip the hair off right next to your fingers. This way when we tie it in, we won't have any butts that we have to trim. Lay it right down on top of the hook. Take 2 loose wraps over it, hold the hair and pull it toward you firmly, and then you can make a narrow band of thread to secure this, and then we'll whip finish right over that band of thread. And you can either apply a little head cement to that or just do a double whip finish, and you won't have to worry about it coming apart. So you see, it's a very simple pattern. I urge you to tie some in multiple colors to reflect the species of caddis you have in your area. And remember, do not make that sparkle emerger yarn tail too heavy. You want it to be light and translucent. Thanks for joining in. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please contact us. We'll see you next time.